So this is going to be a sad video because we're going to be reacting to Roblox games you've probably forgot about. Mr. Bullet Warning, let's see what we got. Here we go.
What was the first game you played on Roblox?
I remember it was called Phantom Forces back in 2016.
Some of you older players, it might be a game like Natural Disasters, Prison Life, or Work at a Pizza Place.
Yeah, I remember
those.
those.
Some of you newer players, it might be a game like Jailbreak, Piggy, or Build-A-Boat. Here are some
And I'm
Roblox
old.
games you might have forgot about and probably haven't played in a long time. So
Yeah.
first, let's start with an absolute classic that I mentioned before, Natural Disaster Survival.
I think when most people think of classic Roblox games, they think of this game. Like, it is the classic Roblox game. Yeah.
Natural Disaster Survival was released December 4th, 2011 as a round-based survival game with 6 disasters and 8 maps.
2011?
What it has today. The game was made by Stickmaster Luke, whose avatar or name you've seen somewhere no matter when you started playing.
For sure.
Even as a Roblox toy made of him, which I happen to own.
Didn't know
The
that.
interesting part about this game, especially considering its player count, is that it's actually never gotten regular updates. If you take a look at the update log on the wiki, you'll see that it's only gotten 13 updates in its 11 years of being
developer, he made the game and he bounced. He's on a yacht somewhere sipping some tea. He's making all this money. He doesn't even have to do a single thing.
The latest being 2 years ago in April of 2021.
Dang.
And the one before that 5 years ago in June of 2018.
Oh my
For
God.
such an old games to still peak at 10,000 players with no new updates, it's amazing to see.
That's
However,
crazy.
Because of Stickmaster Luke not making anything new or at least fixing older things in the game like the vehicles, I don't see this game growing in popularity, and it'll only grow with the amount of new players joining Roblox.
Yeah.
Now we have a big jump
exactly.
in player count, from many thousands to a couple hundred. 2 games you may not even have heard about. Apocalypse Rising and Apocalypse Rising 2.
I've played these.
Apocalypse Rising was released July 1st, 2012 as a survival game against zombies and other players created by Gus Minak and until 2015, SolarCath. It was one of the biggest games of Roblox, being the front page for years and winning Best Survival Game in 2013.
This is also the game that like kickstarted Flamingo's entire YouTube channel. Back on Albert stuff, his old channel.
Even before it was called the Bloxies. If you were a competitive player, then this was one of the games you went to.
Yeah.
However, because of it being such an old game and very easy to hack with Roblox's bad security, things were breaking all the time and hackers took over the game. This ruined the game for the players as well as the developer Gus Minak to the point that he didn't want to work on the game anymore.
That's
Almost
crazy.
a year after this announcement, on August 4, 2017, Apocalypse Rising 2 Alpha was released for 1,000 Robux.
I don't have 1,000 Robux.
It has since been made free to play and is being updated to this day, getting over 1,000
I
players.
haven't heard a single thing about this game in years. I didn't even know it still existed. Like, I don't know what happened to it.
Weekend. However, Apocalypse Rising 1 is nowhere as close, only peaking 100 players every weekend and is sadly still sworn by flying cars. Next, we have a Tycoon
kinda
game,
funny.
which I think is one of the best to this day. Lumber Tycoon 2. Lumber Tycoon 2.
I'm gonna get a lot of hate for what I'm about to say, but I never liked this game. I've always found this game to be the most boring game on Roblox. Like, it's brain dead boring. I've never liked it. I'm sorry. I'm
in May
sorry.
Of 2015, when the creator Defaulty got to be a part of Roblox's incubator program, where he got to work with Roblox to develop
Their what
original
program?
games. He decided to go back to one of his old games, Lumber Tycoon or Lumber Tycoon 1 from 2008, and thought about what made it so successful. With this information, he made Lumber Tycoon 2, where the player chooses what to do next instead of the button upgrades which every other Tycoon game had. With something as unique and well made as this, it was destined to do well. With the alpha released to the public in July of 2015, it was simply named Test and only had a few players every day. But in August, when it was released to beta, it was finally named Lumber Tycoon 2 and it got its iconic icon, reaching 10,000 players in a matter
It's one of the most popular Roblox games of all time. You guys have probably played it. A lot of you probably love it.
of hours. The game still peaks at around 4,000 players every day, but with the further evolution of Tycoon games, there being easier options, and simply no recent game update except for bug fixes, the player count has basically stayed the same for years.
It's still
Next, we
pretty
have,
good
to
though.
me, a very underrated game, Roblox Death Run.
Oh, wow, that was
I don't like this game either.
a real close one, sister. What do these do? I don't know.
dude.
I don't know.
Death Run, or at the time Death Run 3, was released in 2015 by a team of developers, but the most known one being Weasley. The game was massive back in 2015 and years after that, but sadly, even though Roblox's player count has gotten higher, Death Run's player count has only lowered. The only time the game got a lot of players was with the 2020 Egg Hunt and the 2021 Metaverse event. Not many updates happened after that until on October 17th of 2022, Weasley announced that Death Run will no longer be getting any more updates.
It's not really a popular game genre anymore. People have just moved on.
It's sad to see Death Run go. I have a lot of good memories on it, and every time I hear any of the music in the game, but especially the main menu music, I get super nostalgic, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
Next, let's talk about a game that met a sad ending, getting shut down by Pikachu himself.
What?
Pokemon Brick Bronze, and its successor,
Oh
Lumion
my
Legacy.
freaking
Pokemon Brick
God,
Bronze was
dude,
released as a demo.
Let me tell y'all a second, okay? If y'all didn't play Roblox back in like 2016, 2017, dude, Pokemon Brick Bronze was the biggest game ever. Every Roblox YouTuber was playing it. Russo Plays, that YouTuber, he started his entire like journey on YouTube, his entire career playing Pokemon Brick Bronze. It was the best, biggest, awesomest Roblox game ever. And then, well,
on the 24th of October in
This happened.
2015 by a couple of developers, but the most recognizable ones being Lando 64000 and T-Brad M. Back then, it was one of the biggest games on Roblox, in the front page getting a couple thousand concurrent players.
Oh, yeah.
The story, the gameplay, and the community all really good.
It was
However,
so
sadly, it was shut
good.
down by Pokemon just 2.5 years later after the beta release. Over a year passed
yeah, it got shut down because of, copyright. Kind of sucks.
until the game known as Lumion Legacy released. You had the same idea as Pokemon, gotta catch them all, but since it wasn't Pokemon you were catching and it was all disgusting art throw, it didn't feel the same. And now without recent updates, the game only averages around 1,000 players. I don't know how many players
A lot of people always ask, like, why don't you play Lumion Legacy? Why isn't Lumion Legacy as popular as Pokemon Brick Bronze was? And the answer's simple. It's not Pokemon. People like the Pokemon. They like Pikachu. They like Charizard. If that's not in the game, they don't care.
couple thousand from 2018 would be in today's Roblox, but even a re-upload of Pokemon Brick Bronze is getting around the same amount of players as Lumion Legacy. So you can just imagine how big it would be with the proper advertising.
Oh, yeah.
And also just a fun fact before going to the next game is that this game was one of the first videos on Russo's channel. You can actually find a stream of his with a sub goal of 800 subscribers.
Dude.
Now let's talk about a game that people thought would replace a massive game in the same category. Mad City. Mad City, created by Swifty Studios, got to the front page in January of 2019, instantly being compared to Jailbreak, with one of the big differences being the addition of superheroes. With the new superhero team as
Okay, that's literally me right there. Let me tell y'all something a little bit about this, okay? So basically, Jailbreak was the biggest game on Roblox for like 3 years, okay? And this game came along and it was basically the same thing except it added superheroes. And you were basically on two teams. You were either Team Jailbreak or Team Mad City. And they hated each other. That was what was going on. It was like a Roblox Civil War, dude.
Mad City, created by Swifty Studios, got to the front page in January of 2019, instantly being compared to Jailbreak, with one of the big differences being the addition of superheroes. With the new superhero team as well as so many new things to do, for some, Mad City became the new #1 Roblox prison game. The fight between Jailbreak and Mad City lasted for a long time, at least with the fans, but still the Jailbreak developers Asimo and Bad CC or Badimo wouldn't just accept defeat, so they went from monthly to weekly updates to compete. This update schedule
was
lasted
so
for a couple
good.
months until it occasionally went to every 2 or 3 weeks and then back to monthly in September. Mad City got its ups and downs over the next 3 years, but the big thing which ruined the game for a lot of people happened on the 23rd of July 2020.
The problem with Mad City is, why would you play Mad City when Jailbreak's already there? Like, why would you? And that's what happened. People were like, oh, this is a new shiny thing. And then they're like, wait a minute, but Jailbreak's kind of already there. We're just going to go play that.
Chapter 2 came out. The live event they made for it was good.
That was cool.
Crazy.
But what came after, people were not fans of.
It was just
Usually,
more
game
of the
after a
same.
massive anticipated update like this would get more new players, but just a month after Chapter 2 came out, it had less players than before the update. Chapter 2 simply made the game too different from what it was in Chapter 1. And another example of this happening is for Piggy Book 1 and Piggy Book 2. This was before Chapter 2, but Jailbreak has now taken back the #1 spot for the Roblox prison game genre, at least player count wise. And unless Mad City somehow makes a massive comeback or a crazy good prison game comes out, then this is not changing. Now we have a story game series, Camping. Camping made by Samsung.
Oh my God, dude. I'm going to cry. Listen. 2019, 2020, during the pandy, these games were so fun to stream and play with you guys. I love them.
XVI, or just Samsung, was first getting big in April 2019. The story was interesting and the game was very enjoyable. And not only was it massive on YouTube, but it also had a massive impact on the Roblox story game genre as a whole.
Yeah.
A bunch of new story games came out trying to get on the trend, like High School, Field Trip, and Tiki Island. And also, if you ever see story games joke about a food item being poisoned, that's because of camping.
Fight until you find out one sandwich has been poisoned.
Every
Yeah,
story game used
dude.
this excuse to kill off a player.
Every camping story is the exact same.
Anyway, Samsung made 3 new games in 2019 to continue the story. Camping 2, Hotel, and
Man, it was so fun. A new camping game came out and it was just like, yeah, let's go, dude. It was so exciting.
all all of them being very successful. Samsung stopped making the camping games after Mansion in October 2019, and it wasn't until over a year later in December 2020 when he finally made a new story game called Armageddon, which was
I didn't even know that.
Currently, it only has 2.6 million visits. Then basically half a year later on June 6, 2021, we got the final camping game, Camping 3.
I remember
It was nice to see
this.
the camping story come to an end, and overall, it was a good game.
For who you will snack on. Wait, what to me? Oh my god. Look, it
I
even has
love
a
it.
little
I
face
love
in
it,
there in the
dude.
picture. That was delicious.
But it had been close to 2 years since the last camping related game, and not only had that taken away a lot of the hype, but Roblox had also evolved. In the story game genre, we had games like Break-In, which are high quality, but are also a lot more replayable. Since Camping 3, Samsung's made one new game called Most Academy, which
I didn't
came
know
out
he
in
made
September
that. I didn't really like
2022
that
last
game.
year. The game currently has the most concurrent players, but the like to dislike ratio doesn't look as good. But despite that, as well as the game only being out for around half a year, it's still gotten more visits than Camping 3. Samsung's recently started working on a new game unrelated to camping or Most Academy, but he says that he might make a sequel to Most Academy at some point in the future.
Yeah.
Now we're in
Okay.
2020. We have a pig-inspired game which is still averaging crazy
Here
amount
we
of players
go,
to this day.
dude. Here we go.
Spider made by
Spider.
Roy Stanford got popular early June 2020, possibly because of Albert's video on it. The game is exactly like Piggy with the goal to escape, but with the big difference being that the killer is the spider. And the fun part is that you can actually be your own
I
avatar
love
when
it.
playing as a spider. The game peaked in summer of 2020 with tens of thousands of players, but with no new updates, it lost most of its players in just 2 months. The game only has one chapter.
If the developers updated this game, it would have been one of the most popular games ever on the history of the platform. But they did. I don't know what happened. It's like they made the game and then they went to sleep for an entire year. Like, what happened?
There's really no story to it, and the skins are really not worth grinding for, so it's still getting 10,000 players. It's crazy, and without
Yeah.
a doubt makes it the biggest Piggy-inspired game by far.
For sure.
But really what we learned from this is that Roy Stanford knows how to make a big game. He
They
just
made
has to
Rainbow
learn about
Friends
how to
too.
update them.
Yeah, they didn't update that either. Like, what happened?
He just has to learn about how to update them.
Yeah, well, where's the
Now we have a
Rainbow
game with a
Friends?
very interesting story development-wise.
no.
Timmy. Timmy
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no, dude! Oh
by
no!
Wonderworks and KreekCraft released in beta September 3rd,
no!
2021, being another pig-inspired game.
Yeah.
As you can imagine, this was created because of KreekCraft's character Timmy being very popular at the time.
What's up, baby boys?
However, what was not popular was the game. The monster was faster than the player. There was an overwhelming amount of things in the game at the very beginning.
Actually, the monster was the same speed as the player. Let's get that straight, okay?
Again, with no explanation to what they do, like the level up Timmy. And this might just be my opinion, but I think there were a bit too many Roblox purchases, at least for a piggy-themed game.
Yeah.
Anyway, Chapter 2 came out on 19th of December 2021 and was the second and last update to the game, with Wonderworks half a year later announcing that Timmy is discontinued, so it won't receive any more updates. And also, just by looking at KreekCraft's tweet the day Chapter 2 came out, the communication might have been bad, or at least could have been better.
I was like, wait, what? It updated? I had no idea it was gonna update today. I literally, y'all, I was kind of being funny. But I kind of wasn't being funny. Like, I knew the update was coming, but I didn't know it was coming that day, right? It did catch me off guard a little bit. Gonna believe me. Nobody's gonna believe me, but I actually had no idea it was gonna update today.
I was never really a fan of the game, but it sucks to see a game with so much work put into it stop after 2 updates.
Yeah.
I did like the first chapter's map though, and the Krabby Patty mobile was pretty cool. And
I'm pretty sure we almost got copyright issues from SpongeBob because of the Krabby Patty mobile. Where's it at? Like, that almost gave us problems.
And now, as a
Almost.
surprise, we're going back to 2016 with the first Roblox game I ever played, which I can guarantee you've never heard of.
Oh my god,
So in the summer of
dude. I got my first
2016, I watched
Roblox
some
girlfriend and
dancing
I'm
Roblox
joking.
videos of games such as The Plaza, Roblox and Water Park, and other interesting games. But it wasn't until August 30th, 2016 when I watched this video on Roblox Pokemon Go when I finally decided to create my account on my dumpster laptop. As you can imagine, it's a game where you catch Pokemons, from starters to really rare ones, just like in Pokemon Go. But unfortunately, now the game has been privated because of Nintendo
Copyright.
taken down just like Pokemon Brick Bronze.
Yep.
The game still managed to get 500,000 favorites, 145,000 likes, and 104 million visits, so for its time, I'd say it was a success.
Pretty good.
But man, I want to revisit that game.
Guys, listen. This is that the dentist music? Wait, that's the Pals music, right? Listen. This guy right here, bullet warning, he's at 31,000 subscribers. If we can get him to 50,000 subscribers, I'll give away 100,000 Robux the next time we watch one of his videos. I think that's a good goal. Let's make that happen. I'll have a link down below. Go check him out.